What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the MG Cup Series here on NBCSN. Getting ready to kick things off here at the New Hampshire Speedway, Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, excuse me. The Magic Mile here in Loudon, New Hampshire, and here we go. We're getting ready. Denny Hamlin is on the pole. Who's going to win themselves a lobster? Loudon the Lobster, your trophy for winning here at New Hampshire. Hamlin, your pole sitter. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson to his outside. The 24 of Jeff Gordon. The 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. behind them. Rounding out the top 5 is Jeff Burton. To his outside in the 4 cars, Ian Slager. The pace car makes that hard left turn on the pit road. We are about to go green here in New Hampshire. Green flag is waving. We're racing here in New Hampshire. Hamlin with a big lead off turn number 2 as the field screams down the backstretch and into 3 and 4. Caution is out already. We had an incident in the back. Racing back to the caution flag. Hendrick teammates are side by side for second. It's all Hamlin out in front. Johnson's going to take P2 at the line. Let's see what happened to Casey Kane here to bring out the caution. Oh, Montoya. A bunch of cars stacked up on top of each other at the start and all go into the inside wall. Montoya did not get going too well. Kenseth looks like tried to duck to the inside. He had the 86 pushing him, and I guess that kind of shoved him back because it looks like Kenseth was looking to go inside there and make it 3 wide the second they crossed the line. But right as he was about to pull out, the 86 of Fred Jones gets pushed into his rear bumper. They all stack up. You see Jones getting hooked by Kane, and all 4 cars go sliding down the racetrack. Kenseth keeps it off the inside wall. Montoya slides back up. He's going to collect Elliott Sadler and Bill Elliott with nowhere to go. And Kenseth's going to get into Montoya. That's where he gets his damage from. Checking up on the inside, they spin around again as David Gilliland and Travis Kvapil get together. Lots of contact on the start there as we get ready to try this again. Pace car is in. Here we go. Johnson and Hamlin bring us to the line. Green flag back in the air. Oh, there goes Newman in front of the pack, and they are stacking up big time on the backstretch. Jimmy Johnson is going to lead us back to the caution flag as we had a big one on the back straightaway here at New Hampshire. Oh, and more contact in the back. Elliott saves it. I think he's got more damage than he had before. Let's go back and take a look. So, Newman got into the back of Martin. Comes down across the nose of his teammate. And, yeah, that just sets off a chain reaction. There's nowhere to go. The entire field comes roaring in behind, and there's just nowhere for them to go. All right, getting ready for our next restart here. It's Johnson, it's Hamlin. Your top 2. Johnson got a good jump on the high side. Now let's see if Hamlin can do the same. Back to him. Green flag back in the air. They're about even. Hamlin does get the better launch. As here comes Jeff Gordon to the inside. Gordon way down on the flat, peaking on the bottom, trying to take the race lead. They're still 3 wide off turn number 2. Gordon's not going to have the momentum, but he's got a push from his teammate as Dale Jr. is going to try to keep him up there in contention. Gordon's going to try to dive it back inside. Can't quite get it to stick. He's going to have to back out of it as he lines up behind his teammate. They're still side by side, neck and neck for the lead. Coming off turn 4, Hamlin is going to edge out Johnson as the caution's out yet again. It looks like this time it was Marcos Ambrose. Gets hooked by AJ Allmendinger there. He saves it. He's down on and they're wrecking behind him, and he just gets clipped. As they were all stacked up as a result of the contact. But looks like it happened underneath them, actually. Fred Jones gets turned sideways, just catches the door of that 47. So we watch it again. Like you see Kenseth getting into the rear end. I was going to say rear bumper. There's no rear bumper cover left on that 86 car. Gets in the rear end of Fred Jones, turns him sideways and up the track. He almost saves it, but catches the 47. He does ultimately save it, but you see Kyle Busch and others getting collected behind. And, man, Jones got into the back of the 47 again, turned him back around. And then there you see Regan Smith getting collected, 9 to Casey Kane, and then another one here. Just unfortunate. And Hamlin went down pit road. He's going to ultimately forfeit the lead with that stop. Something wrong on that 11 car, but we'll see if he has any sort of tire advantage here as he'll try to work his way back up to the field. Gordon and Johnson are going to lead us to the green flag. Jeff Gordon with a good jump on the high side. He's going to clear off turn number 2. And down the back straightaway. Big lead for that 24 car. Finally completing a lap under green here. Never mind, I spoke too soon. There's the 44 of Allmendinger in the inside wall on the front straightaway. So now, racing back to the caution flag, Johnson got a good run out of turn 2, closing the gap on Gordon through 3 and 4. 2 different lines through the corner. Johnson gets good acceleration. Can he make a move? He's going to get into the back of his teammate, sends him almost to the inside wall. Gordon's going to hang on at the caution, and I can't imagine he's too happy about Johnson getting into the back of him there. I don't think Johnson meant to. I think he was trying to just tuck in behind him on corner exit and just kind of misjudged it. Made a little bit of contact. That was strange, but here's what brought out the caution. Hamlin got into the back of Allmendinger and sent him into the inside wall. And one more look at that contact between teammates here off of turn number 4. As you see the run Johnson got and just gets into the back of him. And Gordon got loose. I think he had to check up a little bit, so Johnson couldn't really get off of his bumper. And that nearly ended in disaster there. As we come to the stripe, Gordon just hangs on at the line. All right, here we go, getting ready for our restart. Yet again, doubling up through 3 and 4. Pace cars in, here we go. Green flag back in the air. Johnson with a great jump on the high side. And he's clear of Gordon down into turn 1. Oh, trouble behind. Hard into the wall goes Kurt Busch. The 4 of Slager's in it. The track is blocked. They're piling in. Racing back to the caution flag is Johnson out in front of Gordon this time. And 3 wide behind. Contact coming to the stripe. Dale Jr. gets turned. Down the front straightaway and sliding behind out of the corner was multiple cars. As they saw the smoke, went left to avoid and almost lost control. Wow, what a crazy restart that was. Let's take a look at what happened here. Absolute calamity took place off turn number 2. Looks like it was the 4 of Ian Slager to be the first turn sideways, and things just rapidly got worse from there. As the 4 looks like it's hooked by Kurt Busch across the nose of Newman. Busch. Oh, man. That was a hard hit for Kurt. The 4, he got into the back of him, and he thought he had it avoided, but the 4 comes sliding back up the racetrack, right into the left front of that car, sends him straight into the wall, head on, about as hard as you can hit here at New Hampshire. And yeah, you see the 4 car Slager into the front end of Kurt, and then sends him back in. As it looks like Mike Bliss, yes, that's the 09. Mike Bliss also slammed into him there. And then you see David Reagan getting hooked further back, and then coming off the corner, Hamlin nowhere to go as he just sees everybody stopped off the corner. And what happened to Brian Vickers down into turn 3? It's like trying to escape this carnage. I'm not sure what they had going on there. Almost went down the access road, and yeah, he gets hooked by Logano, and then Bliss gets in the back of him as they're trying to drive away. What happened to Dale Jr.? Well, we saw what happened, but let's take a look at it. They were 3 wide off the corner. It looks like Dale Jr. tried to slide up, probably didn't even realize they were 3 wide, and just comes across the nose of the 31. Spins himself out, loses a couple positions. Ultimately, pretty lucky to escape with only a spin. So most cars got way worse damage than that. So we ride under caution here. We're getting ready for our next restart. And race control decided they're going to send them off single file. There's been too many incidents on the restarts. They're going to try a single file restart here. Green flag is back in the air. Johnson leads us to the line. Gordon trying to stay close behind in second. There's a battle for third as Carl Edwards on the high side is going to try to clear Jeff Burton. Burton fights back. Remember, Burton used to drive that 99 car. Edwards is in now. They have a point to prove here, as he struggled these last couple seasons, these first seasons in that 31 car driving for RCR, but so finally, oh, we got a big crash in turn 4. Hamlin's involved again. David Reagan, Bill Elliott also collected, but Hamlin looks like he's done for the day. He's got serious damage to that 11 car, and that's going to hurt him in this championship battle. What happened here? Oh, Elliott's down in the grass. How did he end up down there? There's a lot of cars in the wall with him. Not just Reagan and Hamlin. He collected Casey Mears. Brian Vickers was up there. All right, we got to go way back. Looks like they stacked up on the back straightaway. 21 gets booted out of line. way down to the inside, trying to stay low, clips the grass, loses control, up the track, across the nose of David Ruderman, and into the wall goes 5 cars. As a result, Hamlin hit it the hardest. That'll end his race for sure. Let's see, Hamlin's in the middle of that, just trying to carve his way through the field, and just, oh man, that's a hard hit. Reagan hit hard too. All right, let's try this again. Another single file restart here. Johnson leads us back. Pace car is in. Green flag is waving. We're racing yet again in New Hampshire. And already going 3 wide into turn 1. This is for third. Mark Martin got a great jump. Pulls to the inside of Burton, who's pulling to the inside of Edwards. They're 3 wide off turn 2. Burton's going to pull ahead in the middle. As the field starts to spread out, and there goes Paul Menard getting spun down the backstretch. That'll bring out another caution, but at least it's not a catastrophic accident. In the middle of the pack, that 98 car spun to the inside, got out of the way. As you see Stewart tagging the inside wall there, we're seeing a lot of people slide up on corner exit and just clip whoever's to their outside. Could that be something to do with our new tire compound? These tires wear out a lot quicker. To make for strategy, drivers might be pushing too hard on worn tires. As the field bunches up at the last second to go back double file, the green flag waves, race control decides at the absolute last possible second that they're going to go back double file. As the single file restarts didn't seem to clean anything up, that just bunched everything up with that last second decision to double up there. But it seems like they're going to keep it clean. We have completed another lap under green here in Loudon. And they're wrecking behind. Oh, big stack up. Another one. Things happen here quick here at the Magic Mile, and there's another example. As things were going smoothly just a second ago. Let's see what happened. Oh. Kenseth looks like got into the back of the rookie. Brad Keselowski in a 25. Gets hooked into the inside wall. Bounces off, catches Kenseth, sends him back up into traffic. He collects Travis Quapple, and the track gets blocked. Look at Fred Jones up on top of somebody there. Kurt Busch also on top of somebody. Lots of rear ends getting jacked up into the air. Alright, race control decided they didn't like that. They're going to go single file once again. It's the green flag waves. They're trying to keep the field bunched up for these restarts late in the going, but looks like single file is just the way to go here today. And down into 3 and 4. Looks like they're spreading out quite a bit, so that's good. That's what they wanted to see. Johnson has been uncontested up front for these last about 5 restarts. Race hasn't gone green long enough for anyone to try and run him down. Side by side for third between Edwards and Jeff Gordon. Looks like Carl's gonna have to give this one up. No, he gets a great run through the middle of the corner. Nose is out ahead of that 24 car. As Brian Vickers exits pit road, he's going to stay down on the apron as the leaders come up on him. Johnson trying a slightly different line through the corner, gets it to work. That's the thing about these flat racetracks. You never know where the line is going to be. You find grip where you can. And Johnson's doing just that. As he runs slightly up the racetrack, gets a good rotation through the corner. The 31 down. That bottom groove is less banked than the rest of the track. He's down on the flat, trying to get some rotation on that seam there. Half up, half down. As you see Edwards trying the same thing to get underneath Brian Vickers. Vickers with no hood on that car, just trying to make it to the end. No hood, no rear bumper cover. He's got some war stories in that 83 car for sure. He's just trying to stay out of the way. Mark Martin gets underneath. He's going to clear him. Jimmy Johnson has been pulling away this entire time. Looks like he has the car to beat. And he finally got to the front, got some clean air, and he's going to pull away uncontested here at the Magic Mile. As it's starting to calm down a bit here. The first battle we have taking place is further back for P10 as Harvick just cleared Truex. Truex is falling back. Here comes David Stremme. We haven't heard much from him this season. Stremme looking for a good run in that Penske number 12. Unfortunately, doesn't have the momentum on corner exit to clear Bobby Labonte. Now here comes Matt Kenseth trying to make a move underneath. He's going to think about taking them 3 wide. The 12 moves down, blocks him on the flat part of the track. As he knew Kenseth would try to send it in on the bottom. Now heading down into 3 and 4. Looks like he finally clears Labonte. Kenseth's going to clear as well down the front straightaway, and here comes Harvick underneath Dale Earnhardt Jr. Gotta imagine Jr.'s tires are hurting after that spin. He didn't pit. They can't be quite as fresh as they were before, and he's been dropping like a rock ever since, just trying to not lose too much, playing a little bit of damage control here. Side by side with the 29. He's not going to make it easy for Harvick to pass, but he's going to get stuck behind the lap car. Harvick using Brian Vickers as a pick. And he's going to clear. Junior pulls low on corner exit. He's going to get underneath the 83 as well. How about the run today for Sam Hornish Jr. up inside the top 10? Hornish in the 77. Rookie, sophomore driver. Rookie season didn't go so well last season, but looks to be improving a little bit this year. We've seen him up inside the top 10 a little bit more. As Johnson continues to put cars a lap down, he's going by the Australian Marcos Ambrose in the 47. That little Debbie car also missing its hood and its rear bumper cover. No issues there. Oh, there goes the 83 of Vickers getting hooked. It's going to save it, but it collected Bobby Labonte, which is unfortunate for Labonte. He was having a great run. He's going to lose a ton of track position. Or at least he loses one spot, but he lost a ton of ground on Kenseth, who he was battling for position there. But they're going to keep it straight. We're going to stay green. Joey Logano, the rookie, hasn't done so well this season, but trying to Found a good run. He's avoided trouble for the most part today as they're 3 wide off turn 4. Getting past Marcos Ambrose. And look at this, Hornish underneath Clint Boyer. Last season's Daytona 500 winner in that 33 car. RCR has won the last 2 Daytona 500s, both with the Jack Daniels 07. Last year it was Boyer driving that car. He's moved over to 33 this season in that Cheerios car. Casey Mears driving the 07 this year. He won the Daytona 500. To talk about an underdog story for Casey Mears. Look at this. The battle taking place. It's a 4-car dance for 6th place. As these points mean everything to these guys. It's an abbreviated season. Everybody trying to get what they can. As the top 20 are all locked into the Daytona 500 for next season. And as far as we know, all these guys are planning to come back full time in these same rides next year. So they're going to need every point they can get if they want to stay in the top 20. I think all of these guys are really good. They're within the top 10, but that's just, it gives them more incentive to race hard with these rules, because not just for Daytona 500 entry, you got to think about Clash entry as well. You can lock yourself into the Daytona 500 with the Clash. That's how the rules are here in the MG Cup Series. That's why we're more exciting than any other series you'll find on the channel. There are no lock-ins, or there are no guaranteed entries. No matter who you are, you could be a 3-time champion of the sport and miss the Daytona 500. That is the allure behind the race. But if you enter the Clash and you win that race, you are locked in to the Daytona 500. And one of the entry points for the Clash next season is the highest scored driver in the points with no wins and no poles. Hornish has not won a race or a pole this season, but if he can climb his way up into the point standings and be the highest driver in that regard, he will lock himself into the Clash for next season and have a chance to race for the Daytona 500. Boyer has won a few races, so he's kind of calmed down a little bit. He doesn't need to possibly tear up a good race car. He's going to concede. He's going to fall back. He lost 4 positions. Or 3 positions. He went from 6th to 9th there, but he's thinking bigger picture here. Newman right on the rear bumper at 77. Nearly turned that 77 sideways. He's tried to move him, and Dale Jr. gets into the 71 of David Gilliland, sends him into the inside wall, and that'll bring out the caution after a long green flag run. That'll likely extend this race as Johnson comes off turn number 4 to the caution flag. That will change everything. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Johnson hangs on to the lead down on the 1 and 2, gets down on the flat. Burton is almost turned behind and contact. Oh, they're wrecking in the back. There goes Dale Jr. Clint Boyer gets spun. The 4th Slager down on the inside wall. Cars are everywhere. They're in the grass as they all scatter to avoid. Marcos Ambrose is destroyed and the caution is out. This one will definitely extend the race past our 70 lap distance. Oh, Slager's upside down. What happened back here? The Canadian into the inside wall and back into traffic. There were 2 separate wrecks that broke out. Ricky Rudd got turned sideways. Rudd, who wasn't even planning on running this season, has had a horrible year. One last hurrah for the Rooster. And yeah, we can't really find a good angle. Here we go. Looks like Paul Menard got into the back bumper, sent him sideways into Bill Elliott. Two of the longtime drivers here from the very first season of the MG Cup Series. And, oh, man, Brian Vickers, nowhere to go. Let's see what happened further up. They're bouncing off each other. I thought Jeff Burton was going to get turned there. His teammate gets into him, slides, catches Dale Jr., sends him back up into Burton. You see Slager pop the inside wall, the inside safer barrier, I should add. That's what sends him back out, but luckily no one hits him. He tries to get rolling, and Bill Elliott got into him. Then Rudd topples him over, and he rolls multiple times before landing on his roof. That's really unfortunate for Ian. He was just trying to stay out of trouble late in the going here and find some more trouble. All right, let's jump ahead to our final restart of the day. Into the restart zone. Jimmy Johnson did not get a good launch. Here comes Edwards, clearing him on this hopefully final restart. Can Johnson fight back? Here comes Jeff Gordon to his inside. As the Hendrick teammates go side by side for second place. These drivers fighting for every point, trying to get this championship in their favor. But this is not helping Jimmy Johnson at all. As he gets a great run off turn number 4, clears Gordon, finally has a chance to run down to 99. Here we go through 1 and 2 for the final time. Johnson gets a great run out of turn 2, but is he too far back to catch cousin Carl in the 99? Out of turn number 4, the Affleck machine is going to find victory lane. Carl Edwards wins at the Magic Mile. He's going to get the lobster. And everyone made it those final 2 laps cleanly. Thank goodness. We've seen a lot of carnage here today, but at least we made it those last 2 laps without incident. But Carl Edwards is your winner here in New Hampshire. That is going to do it. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe, and I hope to see y'all next time. Till then,